fake Chuck Schumer is caught going after Mike Johnson, Speaker Mike Johnson, for being too loyal to Israel. Mike Johnson, the left is going nuts on him. They're terrified about him. I'll give you the headlines, but welcome to Doug in Exile. I'm Doug TeNapel. This is where all the happy people are. If you're a happy patriot, then subscribe and join us. Okay, let's get to this string of headlines, which are hilarious because the internet blew up on Mike Johnson. They're trying to tell you what to think and what kind of box to put him in. This is the atheocracy that is hard at work in journalism. Really upset if you think Mike Johnson's normal. Opinion: Mike Johnson just confirmed how unserious he is. Okay, CNN: Mike Johnson tests his new power with risky gambit on Israel. New House Speaker Mike Johnson's already tying Washington in new partisan knots. Good, we approve. AP News: House Speaker Mike Johnson was once the dean of a Christian law school. It never opened its doors. And the terror continues at the Washington Post. Opinion: Mike Johnson is a pro-gun Christian nationalist. Yes, be afraid. You know, the House Speaker subscribes to the same ideology that brought us January 6th rioters. No offense, Washington Post, but F you. Carrying the twin symbols of Jesus and guns. Yes, I'm a Christian. I own guns. This is what terrifies Christophobes out at the Washington Post. They're all crazy against, these are normal American Christians, normal American gun owners. They just hate these Christian families because they know that our kids' genitals are still intact. They demand that we turn our children over to the temple of Moloch, Disney. Speaking of families, they're going after Mike Johnson's wife. Kelly Johnson, boo, specializes in Christian counseling based on ancient teachings. That's in Business Insider magazine. Kelly Johnson, the wife of House Speaker Mike Johnson, was a Christian therapist. These people are going nuts because these are Christians that do not go out and march in a pride parade wearing chaps wrapped in a rainbow flag. That's what they're upset about.
Republican House Speaker Mike Johnson came back with a $14 billion standalone measure to provide funding just for Israel, totally splitting off Ukraine, even taking a step further.
You know, Democrats were trying to add all this pork, so they loaded it up with Ukraine funding, and they just add everything they can, green energy, name it. They'll load it up. And then Mike Johnson just stripped everything out, but specifically the funding just for Israel and not Ukraine is what really upset them. But watch this. Here's Chuck Schumer, who is Jewish, angry that Mike Johnson is just prioritizing Israel.
Their price for helping Israel?
I just want to underline that he admitted that Mike Johnson, a Christian, is helping Israel.
Their price for helping Israel and abandoning America's responsibilities around the globe, making it much easier for the ultra-rich to cheat on their taxes. How the heck could that be their highest priority? It's only when the hard right governs the Republican caucus.
Scoop. Mike Johnson fuels House GOP's best fundraising week of the cycle. That's right. Mike Johnson, this extremist, this terrifying extremist, becomes the Speaker of the House, and the GOP gets its best fundraising yet. That ought to tell you something about this guy's leadership going forward, in that he's one of the few good signs for the dismally performing Republican Party. The period included the best day for online fundraising and donor sign-up months, Politico reported. The majority of the week's haul came from emails sent in Johnson's name. Mike Johnson is what's right about the party, and that's why the hysterical big media left have to brainwash you into hating him because he's a follower of Jesus. Just remember that. Chuck Schumer has almost nothing to say about Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib and their horrifying statements against Jews. He does not care. Celebrate this victory of Mike Johnson. Take the win. These are the happy times. I'm Doug in Exile.